Hi beauties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Hannah. Welcome, thank you for being here. Today's video is going to be a full face of one brand, and that brand is going to be Morphe. I'm going to be doing a full face. I got everything that I could. We're going to be using products that I've already used before and experiencing new products that I've never used before. So without further ado, do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are not already. Like this video if you enjoy it, and click the post notification bell so you get notified when I upload a brand new video. Leave me a comment down below. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have my box of goodies right here. This is all the stuff that I've got. So first things first.
First things first, I'm the realist.
We're gonna go ahead and prime. This is the foundation primer and it's the revitalizer. I've never used this, so this is gonna be new for me. I've never used any primers from Morphe, so we'll see how this goes. It says it blurs and softens imperfections, instantly makes skin feel moisturized. So I'm gonna take a little bit, like a dollop, on my fingers and rub it into my face. It feels really moisturizing and it feels really good. The only thing that I worry about is if it's really gonna like blur my pores and sink into them, because I usually use my Tatcha Silk Canvas, which works really well and is like the best blurring primer ever. So we'll see how this goes. And hopefully it doesn't make me oily throughout the day. My pores look like they're pretty blurred. They aren't as blurred as when I use my Tatcha Silk Canvas. But then again, that's a much higher price point. So for, I think this was like $12. I don't remember how much it was. But for the price that it is, because all of Morphe's stuff is so affordable, it worked pretty well. We're going to go in with foundation. So I got the Fluidity Full Coverage Foundation by Morphe in the shade F260. I don't really know if this is going to be like my exact shade, but we're going to have to make it work because I only got one, I think. Let's go in with this. This is a matte foundation, so hopefully it doesn't dry out my skin super bad. I do have oily skin, so it should be okay, but I don't like super drying foundations because my skin overcompensates and gets super oily. So we'll see how it works. I'm going to go in with my Morphe sponge, which I forgot to wet. Okay, so let's go ahead and go in with this foundation. I'm going to take the tab off. And I'm just going to squirt some on the back of my hand and kind of work off of there. Don't really know how much to use, so I just put like a good amount on my hand. Wet my beauty blender, and I'm just going to pounce this into my face. So this looks like it's going to be an okay shade. Honestly, it looks like it's a really pretty good match, so I'm happy about that. They did have a pretty good size collection, so it was easy to kind of find a shade that would work best for your skin. They had a good amount of undertones and stuff like that. Okay, so based off my first impression, I kind of am living for this foundation. It looks so good in the monitor. It's picking up. It seems like it's so full coverage and it went on so easy. Everything, like I used a good amount on my hand and it covered my whole face. I didn't have to go in with any more. The shade is like perfect for me. I feel like the undertone is really nice with my skin tone. You can tell that it's matte, but the feel of it is not drying or anything like that. It feels really good on the skin. My skin doesn't feel like it's gonna dry out. I still feel hydrated. My pores don't look exaggerated or anything. That primer's working well so far, so I really like this foundation already. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with concealer now. So for my concealer, I have the Fluidity concealer and it is in the shade C135. So when I first got this, I wasn't as tan in the face, so it's really light for me now because my face is kind of tanned up. This is going to be pretty light on me, so I'm only going to use a little bit so I don't turn into Casper. I have used this concealer before, obviously. I think I've used it in videos on my channel. It works really well. The only thing that I'm not a big fan of is it is a little bit drier. So my under eyes don't necessarily get super like crepey, but they don't look as good as when I use like my hydrating e.l.f. one, which is a little bit easier on the under eye. Look at how like full coverage that is. It just covers up everything so nicely and it blends out so fast. Like I really love it. I started using this because Jaclyn Hill recommends it in a bunch of her videos. And so I bought it because I was looking for like really good concealers with like really good coverage. And I got it like I'd say like a month or two ago, and I've loved it ever since. I just need to reorder the right color for myself because this is too light now. I definitely wouldn't use it every day though, because it is a little bit drier. So if I were to use it every day, it would dry out my under eyes fairly quickly. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and set before this creases. I'm using the Bake and Set Morphe powder. I've never used their powders. I've heard they're pretty good, so we'll see how this goes. I got the shade Translucent because I usually just use translucent powders. So I'm just putting some into the cap here, and I'm gonna work off of that. I'm gonna first set my under eyes, and I'm going to use my brightening brush from Alamar. Now I'm setting the rest of my face with just a Juno & Co. ES2 brush. Okay, so the face is set. So far, so good. I honestly really like this powder. It set my face really nice, and my under eye looks like really, really good. It's not creasy or anything like that. It looks really good. I really like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of the face. Let's go in with some bronzer and blush. So for my bronzer, you guys already know, I've used this on videos in the past on my channel, and it's these Morphe bronzers. Got two of them. One is Mastermind, the other one's Icon. So I use Mastermind to kind of bronze, and then I use Icon to more like contour really. So I'm gonna go in with this. I love these bronzers. They are so good. They blend out so beautifully. They are so easy to work with. They're not patchy on the skin, which is a problem that I've had with a lot of other bronzers. And I'm going to be looking in the monitor a lot for this video because I'm trying to make sure that my camera stays in focus and is picking up on what the products look like for you guys. Okay, now that I've kind of bronzed up with that one, I'm going to go ahead and take Icon, and I'm just going to chisel out a little bit more with that one. So I'm going to take this Opulent Beauty brush. It's so soft and it's like easy to work with. For contour, I really like it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take a Luxie 209 brush, and I'm going to be mixing both of the bronzers, use a little bit of each on this brush, and chisel out my nose. The thing that I also like about these bronzers is they're not overly like orange, which is another big problem that I've had with bronzers before. It's hard to find like good bronzers and contours in affordable brands because a lot of times they have like reddish or orange undertones, and that really does not work for my skin. And so I love these bronzers. They work really well, and I feel like they could work on a lot of people's skin tones. Okay, now I'm going to go in with some blush. I got the Blushing Babes Pop of Peach Blush Trio. So in this blush trio, it comes with like the first one, which is like got a little bit of a sheen to it. The second one, which is matte. And then this third one, which is a little bit darker, also has a sheen to it. I don't really know what like the concept is supposed to be, like why there's three different types. I don't really know if it's supposed to be like this one's for maybe deeper skin tones. I don't know, but they're all really pretty. Honestly, I think I'm just going to run my brush through like all of them and do it that way. I do like that it has a mirror in it too, so you could like throw this in your bag and take it with you, travel with it. It's really like multi-purpose. I like it. Okay, so that blush is beautiful. I love it. It is so pretty. I honestly am going to be grabbing for this a whole lot more. This is so good. I've never tried Morphe blush, and I'm so upset that I've never tried it because it's so pretty. It went on so good. It blended out so easily. It was like 2 seconds and it's perfect. It's so easy to apply. Okay, so I'm going to bake my nose a little bit just to chisel out my contour. I don't think I'm going to bake the sides of my face because I don't want to dry out my face because I know that this foundation is matte and I don't want to like dry out my skin any more than it might already be. Okay, so while that is baking, let's go ahead and do brows. So I ordered a new brow pencil when I ordered all of this stuff like a month ago, but they didn't send me the brow pencil that I ordered. They like forgot it. So that's a little upsetting because I don't want to have paid for that brow pencil and not get it. I don't know what's happening with that. I mean, if they don't send it, I'm not going to be entirely that upset. It's not a lot of money, but it's just like I wanted that specific pencil. This one is okay. It's just the other one was more of my shade. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my brows with this really quickly. I do like their brow pencils. They work really well. They're easy. The brow tip is like pretty fine, so it's easy to work with. Okay, so the brows are done. So now I'm just going to set these brows down with this Morphe eyebrow gel. I do like this eyebrow gel. It works really well and it keeps the brows down like all day, so I really like it. Okay, now let's start on the eyes. I have a bunch of Morphe palettes, but I think I'm going to work mostly out of the 35i, but I might use some colors in the 35m. The reason why I chose these two is because I haven't gotten to play with these a lot, so I wanted to kind of create a look with these. I already know how Morphe shadows work. I love Morphe shadows and I know they're like one of the most popularly used eyeshadows. You just can't go wrong with a Morphe eyeshadow palette, especially if you're just starting out with makeup. I think that the Morphe ones are the best to use. This is what the 35i looks like. So I'm gonna work in this. I don't really know what I want to do, but I think I want to use some color. First, I'm gonna go in with a Morphe M433. I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. I don't know what the shade names are, but it's like a periwinkle shade, and I'm just gonna kind of lay this on the outer corner. This is a pastels palette, so these shades aren't gonna show up as pigmented as like regular shades would, but I think this palette is so pretty because like pastels are really in right now, I feel like. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with that same brush and dip into this shade right here, the one right next to it. By the way, I just realized that I wasn't using Morphe brushes to do my face. Like I used a Juno & Co brush to powder my face. It's not a big deal, whatever. I just realized that I didn't use a Morphe brush. I have Morphe powder brushes. I don't know why I reached for that one, but I'm gonna go ahead in with this shade on that same brush, and I'm gonna put this in the middle of the eye to kind of create like a gradient. And I'm really just packing this color on and then like very lightly blending it out. You don't want to blend this out too much or else then it's gonna kind of disappear because it's pastels. And I don't have a wet base to work off of. I'm working off of like a powdered eye. So I shouldn't have set my eye. It probably would have been easier to work with these on a tacky base. Okay, now I'm going to go in probably just with that same brush that I've been using and go in, I think, with this pink shade right here. So I'm gonna pack that in on the inside of the eye. Okay, so the eye is pretty much done. I really like this spot that I got it to. I did go in with my fingers just a little bit to tap on some excess color just so it showed up a little bit more on camera. So now I'm just gonna run some color under the lash line. I think I'm just gonna go in with this purple right here on the lower lash line, and then on the inner part I'm gonna go in with this green. I'm trying to use as many colors out of the palette as I can. I'm just going in with that same brush. With these pastel colors, it's easy to just use one brush the whole time because they're not super pigmented colors, so it's easy to just like kind of mix all the colors in, and I don't think it really has any effect on the way it looks when you're just using one brush for the whole thing anyways. Plus it saves you from having to use a bunch of brushes and wash all of them. Okay, now I'm going to go in with that green color and put that on the inner portion. I'm going to take my coconut liner and just pop that on the waterline. Okay, I'm going to take a Morphe M431 and highlight the inner corner. I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It's like a pinky metallic shade. This isn't very pigmented, so I think I'm going to go in with my finger and see if it shows up. Yeah, that shows up a little bit better when you use your finger, just because it's so soft and creamy that the brush isn't really picking it up very well, and I use my finger most of the time anyways. So I'm going to pop on some liner. I have this Morphe felt tip liquid liner, so we're going to see how this works. Really pigmented right off the bat. And I prefer felt tips, so I do like this. That was super fast and so easy. Look at how sharp that wing is, and it was so fast. That literally took like 2 seconds. Okay, so that liner worked super well. My wings look really pretty good. I really liked it. It was so easy to use, and the wings took me like 2 seconds. I am going to be reaching for this definitely. Next, I'm going to pop on a lash. I got the lash in the style Yes Queen. This is what they look like. Okay, so I'm going to pop these on really quickly. Just a little disclaimer, I'm pretty sure you guys know this if you've been watching my channel from like the beginning. The Secretive Lash by Morphe is my favorite lash of all time, but they discontinued it. So I'm no longer able to use it. I had a couple pairs, but I ran through them. So I don't have those lashes anymore, and I'm so devastated about it because they are like the perfect lash. They were so wispy, not too long. They fit perfectly. They went with like every look. They were so pretty.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
But since I discontinued them, I'm just working with these ones. I've never tried any other lash by Morphe other than these secretive ones. So we'll see how these go. These look pretty freaking big. So I don't know how they're gonna look on my eyes. My eyes are small, so I have to use like kind of smaller lashes so they don't like swallow my entire eye. I'm gonna curl my lashes really quick and then pop these lashes on, and I'll be right back. Okay, the lashes are on. They were so easy to apply. The only thing is they are absolutely humongous. I'm like looking at myself in the monitor and I look crazy. They're so freaking big. Oh, there's a bug. Ah! Okay, so yeah, these lashes are humongous and my eyes just aren't big enough for them. I feel like they're really like pretty, but they're just so big. Like these are definitely like a super bold lash. Regardless of how they look on my eyes personally, the lash itself is really good. Morphe lashes are just good in general. Most people don't like a thick band, but I like a thick band because I feel like they're much easier to apply. So personally, I love Morphe lashes. Obviously, these aren't like everyday wear, but for like a really bold look, I think these would be really pretty. Let's move on. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight. I can't stop looking at my eyes in the monitor. I look crazy. Not in a bad way, by the way. I'm not saying anything bad about these lashes. They just like look crazy on my tiny eyes. Okay, so I got this high impact highlighter from Morphe. It's in the shade Extra. I'm gonna go ahead and spray down my face with my Morphe Jeffree Star, and then I just kind of let that marinate, and then I use my sponge and kind of tap it into my face. I'm gonna go in with my Morphe M441 and I'm gonna use this to highlight. I don't really know if this is like a highlighting brush, but it's like big and fluffy, so it's gonna work. Oh, honey. This is so pretty. Oh my goodness. I already right off the bat love this highlight. It is so pretty. So blinding. Okay, so that highlight is so beautiful. I cannot believe I've never tried like Morphe blushes or highlight because it's so good. I'm gonna have to purchase some more for sure. I'm in love with all of this stuff. Okay, we're gonna finish off this look. I'm gonna go ahead and do a lip. So I got a regular just lipstick in the shade Honey, which by the way, this component is stunning. It's so pretty. And then I got this like trio thing. So the trio is the Caramel Nude Lip Trio. So it's got a lipstick, lip gloss, and pencil in it. Oh, it's packaged so nice. Okay, so it comes with the lipstick in the shade Boo, the lip gloss in the shade Chill, and the pencil in the shade Trendsetter. This gloss is so cute. I love the little components. They're so freaking stunning. So I'm gonna go in with this pencil. I usually use like Sweet Tea or Love Bite, or like I have a few other ones. I forget the names of them. Coffee and Kissy. I have Chippy, but I wanted to try a new one because I always do the same lip combo. So I went ahead and got this one. It's kind of like a brownish shade. I don't know how this is gonna look with the eye, but okay, the lips are lined. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with, I don't know which one I want to go in with. So let's look at both of the shades here. So this one is Boo, and then this one is Honey. So this is what they look like. I think I should go in with this one because it's like a little bit more nudie, whereas this one is like got that orangish undertone. So I'm gonna go in with this one, which by the way, I think this goes without saying, I love Morphe lip liners. So if you guys need like cheap lip pencils, the Morphe is the way to go. They're like a few dollars and they're so freaking good. I think they're $3. I honestly can't remember, but they're cheap and they're so good. They're creamy. They just glide on so easily. I'm very picky with my lipsticks because they have to be like super creamy for me to like them, so that they don't feel like overly drying or like tacky on my lips. And I have dry lips, so I don't like super matte lipsticks. I like this lipstick. Like this combination is really pretty. It just isn't really going with the look. So I think I'm gonna change it. I think I'm gonna use a different lip liner real quick. Okay, so that looks good. That's more a more neutral lip to go with this eye look. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the gloss on top. Don't clock me on my overlined lips either. I know you're looking at them. So this lip gloss is in the shade Chill. I have never used their lip glosses, so the shade's really pretty though. I heard Morphe glosses are really nice, so I just don't like glosses because then like your hair gets stuck in it, and most of the time lip glosses feel like tacky on the lips, which I hate that feeling, but this one's kind of creamy, so I'm kind of vibing with it. I have really small lips, so I overline them obviously, and I just put the gloss on the middle, so I try to do as much as I can to make them look bigger. So that is it for the full face of Morphe. This is the full final look. Okay, so that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I loved doing this. I really like the idea of doing just a full face of one brand. I will continue to do more of these. Maybe I'll make it like a series type thing, especially if you guys react well to it. And I really enjoyed like finding new products that I can like kind of stick with that I really love. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please give it a big like if you enjoyed it. It would really help me out a lot. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are not already. If you're not, then I don't know why you're even watching this. Why would you watch it if you're not subscribed? Just subscribe. You're already here. You're going to come back and see more anyways. So go ahead and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. Anything you want, constructive criticism, stuff that you want to see, any comments on this look, any like questions that you might have for me, anything. Leave me a comment down below. Follow my socials. They are just at HannahB_beauty with 2 Y's. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please come back and watch some more. I would really enjoy having you as part of the beauty family. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, beauties. Have full face of here. So sins and stop. Okay, now I'm gonna go, oh god, in the inner corner, or oh my god, like cat on the cat wing on the inner corner. Ew. I smudged it. Lipstick in the shade. Oh my god. Oh my god.